La patrie ou la mort.
After several months of inactivity due to the withdrawal of foreign partners, ANATRANS has risen from the ashes thanks to government intervention, bringing renewed hope to the hundreds of people who work there. They received a visit from the President of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Drissa Traoré and Ismaila Satoune Pare.
SN ANATRANS SA rolls out the red carpet for a distinguished guest this morning, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. After laying the foundation stone for a cashew apple processing plant, the head of state extends his visit at this industrial unit dedicated to the processing and marketing of cashew nuts. A crucial visit given the important role that cashew nuts play in the national economy, but also in light of the operational difficulties this unit faced just a few months ago.
We had been shut down since July 2024, and our foreign partners who were supporting us well decided based on their interpretation of the geopolitical situation to leave the country. And so we found ourselves in a situation where we no longer had any investment. So we turned to the government and explained the issue to them. They came, they saw the situation for themselves, and they made the bold decisions that needed to be made in order to restart the company. So today, ANATRANS is a factory that is 100% owned by Burkinabè Capital. Before these decisions, it was a factory owned by Dutch Capital. Today, it is owned by Burkinabè, managed by Burkinabè, with Burkinabè working for the future of our country. We feel a deep sense of gratitude toward the head of state for all the actions he has taken so that today you can come and find this factory open. You see, we have more than 1,000 women who have regained their jobs thanks to the strong actions taken by the head of state. And we are proud to have welcomed him today so that he could see for himself the concrete results of the actions he has taken, the jobs that have been created, these mothers who can now take care of their families. All of this comes from the decisions he has made.
There is no doubt the presence of Captain Ibrahim Traoré here is a beacon of hope for these hundreds of employees, and especially for these vulnerable women seeking means of subsistence. And in response to the warm welcome he received, the head of state addressed her in these words: "Tell us that I have some." And the part of the visit.
Because they are unable to find their career. I am very happy to meet you. The challenge is the supply of nuts. And this year, it was one of our major challenges. There have also been actions taken at the government level to put a suspension on nut exports to allow processing units to secure their supply. So this is an action that allowed us to secure our supply, but it remains a challenge that we need to work on in the coming years. And also market access, since market access was favored by the former shareholders. So currently, we are looking for markets for Burkinabè nuts without really having to go through intermediaries.
This visit by the President of Faso to SN ANATRANS SA is a sign that the authorities are fully committed to fostering the growth of the national business ecosystem, which is the cornerstone of any endogenous development.
Here is a miniature model of the future cashew apple processing plant. The project is officially launched here by the President of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. With a total cost of more than 6 billion CFA francs, the factory will have an annual processing capacity of 5,000 tons of cashew apples.
The idea for the facility came from the fact that Burkina produces nearly more than 2 million tons of cashew apples each year. And when you look at the cashew, there are two products. There is the cashew nut, which everyone knows and is valued, but there is also the cashew apple, with nearly 2 million cashew apples being discarded into the environment. So the idea that came to us was to see, as a state institution responsible for adding value to our local products, how we could support the establishment of facilities that would allow the cashew apple to be processed into various products. So the mission is to process 5,000 tons of cashew apples annually into different products, initially focusing on concentrate. The concentrate will later be transformed into other products such as juice, wine, vinegar, and ethyl alcohol.
The choice of Penny for the establishment of this project is strategic according to the Director General of the Burkina Faso Council for Agro-Pastoral and Fisheries Sectors.
You know that Penny is somewhat centrally located in the cashew nut production area in the west. We are halfway between Bobo, Banfora and Horodara, which are the main production areas. So we are going to set up collection cooperatives with women who will collect the nuts from the producers, of course at a fair price. So the unit will inject more than 500 million annually for the purchase of the apples from the producers.
The arrangements are already in place because ever since we received the notice that Infravision would be in charge of carrying out the work here, the development and even the installation began well before the ceremony. So we already have the necessary equipment to start the work on site.
Burkina Faso is moving towards industrialization.
Excellence, Monsieur le Président, tout en vous réitérant notre profonde gratitude, je souhaite, comme tous les travailleurs de la SN ANATRANS, que Dieu vous bénisse, qu'il bénisse nos vaillants combattants, qu'il bénisse notre brave peuple, qu'il bénisse notre chère patrie, le Burkina Faso. Merci, Excellence, Monsieur le Président.